Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. Probably the last video of the night, unless something exciting happens. But it goes to show another failure by this government. Starmer announced plans some time ago that they would extend courts, either running them through the night or creating new courts in spare rooms, in warehouses, in empty offices, that sort of thing. And they were doing this in order to catch up on the backlog of cases ever since. And to be fair, not their fault. It was ever since COVID. But now they've had to, wind that back in. And the problem here is, particularly with sexual offence cases, that because of the length of time between charge and court appearance, it can actually end up with cases being abandoned. And this is... it's a legal fact. There's only certain time between charge and court appearance that you can have. Otherwise, it times out. It was extended during COVID from 1 year to 3, but that extension has now been reversed. And so there's an awful lot of cases that have literally got to be heard. So why are they abandoning it? Well, it's not, strangely, through lack of... court time. As I said, they can create these courts. It doesn't require any kind of special act to create a court. A court, after all, is just a room. No, the problem is it's a lack of defence lawyers. They haven't got enough defence lawyers to hear all these cases in the appropriate amount of time. Now, as a result of this, they are grading the outstanding cases. They're basically triaging them based on the most heinous, most serious crimes, all the way down to the lesser ones. And it seems that as you go progressively down the list, the more likely it is that you're actually going to get just bumped off and be given effectively the wag of an admonishing finger and no further action. And while, yes, okay, given the constraints in which they're trying to work, you understand that they want to get the more serious crimes tried first, it does mean that some, whilst lesser crimes will be abandoned, that does not mean that they are victimless or impactless crimes. There are going to be victims who will not see justice. And some of these will be of a sexual nature because they're just so far down the list. And the time frames are so tight at the top. Now, as I say, this is not something, and it makes me sick to say it, but it's not something you can blame Labour for. This is a long-term problem that occurred because somebody, Boris Johnson, panicked and listened to people with vested interests at the time, rather than just keeping the courts open and just proceeding as normal, which would have been the correct procedure. But these things happen, and now the consequences are coming home. Them chickens are coming home to roost. Who's to blame? Personally, I say Boris and his advisors for being weak, but it doesn't mean that the current government aren't responsible. But it is responsibility without accountability, I'm afraid. Perhaps they shouldn't have been so quick as to write off that 3-year delay. Should have extended it, maybe just brought it down piecemeal to 2 years rather than straight to 1. It's a difficult position. Maybe we just need more lawyers, although that's not according to Shakespeare. Did he not say first, end all the lives? I can't say the word, they don't like it, but end the lawyers, Anyway, let me know what you think. Thanks very much, and good evening, and goodbye.